What is up, Flick fans, and welcome back to my channel. Disney Plus is the brand new streaming platform coming in November, and I, for one, am extremely excited about it. There is going to be non-stop coverage of everything coming to that platform, and I'm actually considering making a video just talking about literally every new show and movie announced. If you guys would like to see that, we'll talk about it, but today I'm giving you my most anticipated shows, new original shows, not movies. We'll do movies on another day, coming to the platform, and oh my goodness, I'm so excited to talk about all of these things, and of course, I need your comments down below. Which shows are you looking forward to the most? These are just my most anticipated. The order is going to vary for a lot of people, but all 10 shows on this list I'm looking forward to. Let's get right into it. And coming out at number 10 is the brand new Star Wars series, and that is Cassian Andor, portrayed by Diego Luna. Of course, it's the character from Rogue One. Now, it's obviously going to be a prequel because you saw what happened there, but this is a show I'm very much looking forward to it. Even though it's at the bottom of the list, there are just so many great things to talk about today. It's hard to move this up anymore for me, but I'm still really looking forward to it. My big thing here is, one, I want to see more K2SO. I'm excited to see what aspects and elements they bring in from the Star Wars universe at that time. And two, I just really hope this delivers and gives us more layers to that character, because going in and watching a show like this will allow us to go back and revisit Rogue One and see where that character progressed to and make us appreciate that movie even more. This is an unexplored territory in the universe, and he's just an interesting character. He's got a bit of good, he's got a bit of bad, and you're being portrayed by Diego Luna. Of course, the acting talent is going to be there. I'm excited for this series, even though it's at number 10. And at number 9 is the brand new Marvel show, and that is Hawkeye. And one, I'm just excited to see the expert marksman back at it again. We love this character from the movies. Now, sure, he's not the most powerful character there is, and he was underwritten to start out in the universe, but he has slowly progressed into a family man. He's got a lot of layers to him, and it's just something that I think is suited well for television. You have a character that doesn't require a lot of CGI. I hope we see him in action, kind of like we saw in Avengers Endgame. I loved how that was portrayed, and if this is indeed a sequel to Endgame, we're going to explore what actually happened in the midst of all of those years, because we know he was going on and doing some bad things. If we see a bit of that, and of course get the development between he and Kate Bishop, who is a fascinating character from the comic books, and the little trailer thing that they showed at Comic-Con, it showcased her. You didn't get to see who was portraying her, but we all have a feeling it's going to be a really good actress. Overall, I'm still really excited for this series. It's not higher up just because there are so many good things to look forward to, but Hawkeye could be that show that breaks out that no one is expecting to be as good as it ends up being, and I'm really looking forward to it. Next up is a show that's really tough to put at this position because I know a lot of people are looking forward to it and would put it in the top 5 even, but this is WandaVision. Now, this is going to play an integral part into the MCU because we know Scarlet Witch's character. She's going to be in this, she's going to be in Doctor Strange 2, and I have a feeling it's going to be this nightmarish exploration of Vision and Scarlet Witch as a couple, the possibility of a family in there. We've heard rumors that there's going to be time travel, so what does that mean? This series is one of the more interesting to me just because there are so many routes it could go down, looking into Scarlet Witch's abilities and maybe what doors she could open up that some other characters could not, and then of course Vision. Vision is a character for me that, we saw a great progression of what his character was in the MCU, but we haven't really seen him utilize his abilities. He is a strong character. And even though the budgets, they're going to be big, but not the biggest in the world, I do want to see some CGI, some special effects showing us, hey, this is what Vision can do. He is as powerful as you guys think he is. Regardless, the story has to be strong, the script has to be strong. I have a good feeling about it. I would put it above these other things, but there are just certain elements that keep me from doing that. Overall, WandaVision could be an awesome series. Now, here's why WandaVision was not higher. It's weird putting Star Wars: The Clone Wars up this high on this list, but you guys saw the series. I love Star Wars: The Clone Wars. It started out as something and I think ended up like something else. It is way more adult, and even going back and watching a few episodes, just kind of getting myself prepped for the return because we know this show is coming back. And no, it's not necessarily a new series, but it will be a new season, and it is a continuation of what we love about the old show, and just giving us this epic finale that I think we all deserve as fans of the Clone Wars. I'm excited to see more Anakin, more Obi-Wan. There are so many things that could stand out about this series, and put it in the conversation of being one of the best animated superhero-esque Star Wars shows that we've ever seen. It's already in that conversation, but we just didn't get the finale. Now we get that. They're bringing it back. All of the characters, all of the voice talent. Really excited to see the continuation, and that's why it's number 7 on my list. Next up at number 6, and this one just fascinates me more so than anything else, another animated series. This is Marvel's What If. And now What If is basically going to be a story narrated by The Watcher, and they cast Jeffrey Wright as The Watcher, so that in itself is like, yep, this is cool. But they're bringing back all of the actors and actresses to portray their characters once again in animated form, except it's not what went down in the MCU. They're taking the MCU, they're looking at what happened, they're flipping everything on its head. What if Peggy Carter became Captain America? What if Iron Man died in the cave? So many interesting aspects and elements of the show that could just take me by storm, and it's something that Marvel's never done before. They've never done an animated show that's part of canon. Well, it won't technically be part of canon, but it kind of will because it's being narrated by The Watcher, who is now a part of the MCU, but it's just to look into kind of what comic books do. They give you these stories on the side that take the characters, give them a different situation, but whatever happens there does not apply to the main timeline, and all of this is just comic book glory, man. Another Marvel series. Right now we're pretty much working with Marvel and Star Wars, right? Nope, that's not all we're talking about. We have a Pixar show. This is Monsters at Work, the sequel to Monsters, Inc. in animated series form. It's not a movie and has my inner child screaming. I was such a massive fan of this movie, and I'm just excited by the concept. Bringing back our characters that we know and love. Maybe we get more Boo. Maybe we get some of the other players, the side players that didn't play an integral role in the first movie back. Guys, there are so many things that you can do here. Now, there haven't been too many things announced in terms of Pixar and Disney. We've got Chip and Dale. We have some Home Alone reboot, remake kind of things, but I don't know a lot about those series. Therefore, they're not going to be in my top 10. We can talk about them in another video. But Monsters at Work, just the title gets me so excited because we know these characters from the first movie. We love them. Well, I love them. It's one of my favorite Pixar films. But I'm excited to see where they go, and they have the original players, hopefully all of the original players, coming back to voice the characters, guys. I love that Pixar's doing this. I love that they're doing it as a series instead of a movie, and it's so exciting to me. My childhood, we've had Toy Story come back, we've had Incredibles come back, now we have Monsters, Inc. At number 4, and this is barely at number 4, this was fighting for the 3 spot, but I have to put my 3 at 3 and put Loki at 4. Listen, we love Loki. Tom Hiddleston as this character, he's great, he's fantastic, but Austin, he's dead. Well, this isn't the Loki in the current in-game Infinity War timeline. This is, of course, the Loki that escaped in the return to 2012 in Avengers Endgame. So I love the fact that this is not going to be exploring the Loki that kind of converted into a moderate good guy at the end of his life. This is the Loki that just came off of the first Avengers. Literally, he had the mask on and everything. He escapes with the cube, and now he's probably pissed off. And we're going to kind of go back to form with the villainous Loki that we love from 2012. And this is really something that excites me because Tom Hiddleston as that version of the character is the most fascinating version because of the conflict that's going inside. He hasn't resolved a lot of those issues that took him years and years to resolve. And Tom Hiddleston has come out and said, listen, I get to go back to a place that I haven't been in quite a while with this character. And all of those things, we have rumors of time travel. We have rumors of going into different dimensions. We don't know what's in store, but we do know this character is great. And because this character is so great, I think this show could be fantastic. Coming in at number 3, and once again, a tough decision, but I have to put The Mandalorian at number 3. Listen, Jon Favreau, say what you want about The Lion King, but the guy has proven himself as an epic director. The Jungle Book, Iron Man, heck, Elf. I love Elf, but he's really come into his own the last couple of years as a visual filmmaker, but he's also a great storyteller. And he is also bringing in other directors to direct individual episodes, such as a Taika Waititi. I mean, there are so many great things about this Mandalorian show. And then you have a story that takes place following this Mandalorian character beyond the reaches of the New Republic, starring Pedro Pascal. What? Take my money. Now, listen, when this show was announced, before any of this other stuff was announced, because this is really before everything, this was the first, I think it will be the flagship program for Disney Plus to start out. And I believe it's the only one dropping at first. I may be wrong, but this is what got me to say I'm getting Disney Plus. All of these things on top of this is just extra goodness, sweetness that I get to soak in. But you have grade A talent, and he's not the only one. You have Nick Nolte and Gina Carano, and then you have all of these directors and people coming in, and you have Dave Filoni and Kathleen Kennedy, and filmmakers, talent, producers, everyone as their chips are in on this show. So there's no doubt in my mind that it's at least going to be good. I think it could be the best one out of all of these. I truly do, because this is something that we haven't had in the Star Wars universe, I want to say in quite a while, but really ever. It's a bounty hunter feel. It's a Western feeling show. I don't know if you guys saw the thing from Comic-Con. I know it didn't officially get released. Listen, I'm not saying I watched it, but if I did watch it, I'd be really excited for this show, guys. There are so many great things, possibilities, endless possibilities about where The Mandalorian could go, and it just has my blood pumping, because this, for me, could be the thing. Now, I know fans are kind of divided right now. This could be the show where fans on one side and fans on the other come together and say, you know what? The Mandalorian did it. Coming up next is one that I think I'm putting higher than everyone else, and that's okay, right? It all comes down to which ones do you like the most? Which characters are you most passionate about? I'm not saying the Falcon and the Winter Soldier are the characters for me that are like, yeah, the MCU, the first two things I think of, Falcon and Winter Soldier. I love Falcon and Winter Soldier. Obviously, they're at number 2, but it's the possibilities of this show, and it's what this show means. At the end of Avengers Endgame, and spoilers if you're one of the 3 people in the world that hasn't seen that movie, Captain America handed his shield over to Falcon. So in my opinion, this show is going to be all about taking up the mantle of what it means to be Captain America. It's going to be interesting because Falcon doesn't have superpowers and Captain America does, so when he lands on his shield, he's going to break his arm. No, listen, I'm looking into the logistics a bit too much. This is all about representing who Captain America is, and I think Falcon can do that. A lot of people ask, Austin, why didn't he hand the shield to Winter Soldier? Well, Bucky and Cap, they had their day, and clearly Cap cared, I think, a bit more about Bucky than he did Falcon, and he showed that. And every now and then I looked at it and I'm like, you know what? It's kind of not fair to Falcon, because Falcon's been by his side since the second he met him. But then he hands over the shield and I'm like, yeah, that kind of makes sense, because I've given all I've given to Bucky. Heck, Civil War is all about Cap breaking the law at the time to save the life of Bucky. Here is my gift to you. It is my shield. It is the honor. It's the title of being Captain America. So that makes a lot of sense to me, but it still doesn't mean that Bucky can't take the shield. And I'm not saying this show is going to be a fight over the shield or a fight over the mantle, but it's going to kind of represent what it means to take over both of them. And I think both characters will do this, take over what it means to be a hero who represents nothing but good, and take on a villain in who we know now as Baron Zemo, returning from Civil War in his full costume. And woo, did you guys see that picture? You can't see much, but what I can see, I'm like, yep, this is going to look good. There are just so many comic book nuggets in this show that have me really, really excited. Some great talent as well. The director is awesome. The showrunner is great. Falcon and the Winter Soldier could end up being the most action-packed. It could end up meaning the most to Captain America fans, aka me. Captain America is my favorite Marvel hero, and there's just a lot in there that interests me. And that's why it's number 2 for me. I'm not saying it's going to be better than The Mandalorian or heck, even Loki, but it has the possibility, and that's why it's this high up. And coming in at number 1, and this is pretty much the only one that hasn't had a confirmation yet, but come on, guys, come on. It's Ewan McGregor, and I did a live stream on Monday talking about this not when it first broke, but when it broke, and I am just thrilled about this decision. One, because I think it's brilliant that they're going the longer form content route with this character. It's going to be a one-time special. It's not going to have multiple seasons. This is it. We get I think they said 6 episodes. That's the rumor. 6 hours of what Obi-Wan was doing during whatever time period they're exploring. I'm hoping it's the time period that we want to know about, maybe. Or maybe he doesn't confront Vader. We don't know what's happening in this show. All we know is Ewan McGregor, the best, absolute, no doubt in my mind, I would argue until the day that I die, the best actor performance in the prequels. Liam Neeson comes close, but he just had way more screen time than Liam Neeson's character in Qui-Gon. I think Obi-Wan is going to blow a lot of people away, and I said The Mandalorian is their flagship program. Obi-Wan, when it drops, I'm hoping they do 2020, it might be 2021, it is going to be an event unlike anything we've ever seen on television. And I mean anything, maybe on streaming, because of course, Game of Thrones was pretty big. But for Star Wars fans, this is something that I think we've all wanted to see. We wanted a movie. I think we got it even better with the show, with a probably fantastic budget, talent among talent, and we get Obi-Wan Kenobi returning to the screen, the big screen or the small screen, whatever it is, we get the character back. And when I heard this news last week, it automatically shot up to the top because I wanted to see him back for so long. And I hope you guys feel the same way. I think this could be just another thing to unite Star Wars fans if it turns out to be good and if it delivers. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like I said, leave your comments. What has you most excited on Disney Plus? If you want to see more videos talking about Disney Plus, whether it's everything dropping or just the movies, let me know. Also, very special announcement, I'm doing a fantasy football league. And I need some of you guys, some of my subscribers. There are 4 spots open. If you have Twitter, get on Twitter and tweet at me, Austin, I want to join your fantasy football league. We will make that happen. The first 4 people to do that will get the slot. So if you play fantasy football, let me know. If you don't, you don't have to do it. Later on this week, a lot of great videos of Batman fan cast, along with plenty of reviews. You guys are the best, and I'll see you very soon.